Hi, my name is Lucas, the director of Paravan Studios, a little studio established in Chile just 2 months ago. We decided that we are going to finish a video game in just 2 months. The question is, what is a finished video game? 1 stage, 2 stages, 3 bosses? We don't know, but that's what we're going to do, and that's our challenge. Well, what happened was we have to make a plan, right? What can we achieve in 2 months? So our first answer was Rage game, right? So Rage game was our first concept. But through the development, we start thinking that maybe a Rage game can be more fulfilling. You know, maybe it's a short experience, 15 minutes in a very, very hard difficulty. Anyway, it can tell a story. It can have some kind of narrative design. And in that sense, think about how Dark Souls does it, From Software does it. They just put things around. They tell a story without telling it. And that's part of our objectives. So, objective 1, we have 2 months, let's make a Rage game. Objective 2, let's make it elegant. You can use nice shaders. You can have a good lighting. It's all up to a motto that is work smart, not hard. We started creating this kind of platformer, you know? The first idea was you can jump, you can dodge, there are a lot of things coming at you. So instead of going up, as a lot of Rage games are doing it, we thought of going forward. So we were very excited about this idea, and what happened? It ended up being Subway Surfers. You know, so dodging. But the problem was that there wasn't any kind of objective. We wanted the player to finish something, to arrive to a place, so the player wasn't forced to advance, because testers weren't advancing, you know, they was just like dodging here. So what else can we do? We started looking at some references, and Pepsi Man came up, you know, Pepsi Man, PS1. Also, the Pummel Party stage with the cars. We tried to make all these very chaotic, made out of physics, but our other objective was to make it for speedrunners. I think that there's a place there among streamers that it could help us make it viral, our game. If you don't do marketing, your game will be lost in the ocean of Steam. We had to force the player to advance. How can we force them? And that's when it clicked. Let's work with a conveyor belt. In some way, it reminded me of these old Looney Tunes cartoons with this very Cartoon Network bit, and everything was working around and moving, and things were collapsing, and hammers were hammering. So with that in mind, we started thinking about a factory. A conveyor belt is forcing you through the stage, and what else? We still didn't have any kind of mechanic, and that's when it clicked a second time. The Brain Wall. You know it, this Japanese game that people try to jump in or pose in strange positions to pass this wall. So mixing everything up, it started to make sense. Let's make our character have poses. So we started like thinking poses, JoJo's, very expressive poses, a lot of sensuality, a lot of expression. And we started developing this mechanic, and we figured out that it wasn't as simple as we thought, as always, that the player has to pass in a very specific position, like between the mesh, so it doesn't feel like the game is killing you. You know, we have to make it frustrating because it's a Rage game, but at the same time, we don't want to frustrate the player because the collisions are wrong, so we had to practice a lot. And the other problems we had was what positions can we make? You know, how many positions? At the beginning we had like 24 positions, characters, pick up from mix, summon, moving, whatever, and we didn't have a clarity of it. So in that sense, that's where narrative design starts taking place. How does this character look? Why does it look like this? Of course, questions of design, you know, but why is it running? Why does it have to finish the line, you know? And we want to work a little bit like in a silent movie. In a silent movie, you don't have dialogues or text. In some cases there are text, but like a pantomime. You don't have to tell everything through dialogue and text. If you think about a movie like David Lynch, not everything has to be explained. It's something that he struggled a lot of times. Not everything has to be explained. So maybe that's what we are trying to achieve. And at the same time, as I say, work smart, not hard, is because the less amount of objects, assets, programming we put into the project, it's going to be cheaper in the budget. But if you choose wisely, maybe you can tell a story, make a fun game out of just a little bit of pieces. So, once again, this is Lucas from Paragon Games. This is our first devlog. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you around and try our game. We're going to create a Discord. Follow us on YouTube, on our Instagram, on our TikTok. You can see it down here. And hope to create a community. Thank you very much, guys. In 2 months, we're going to finish this.